Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny here, and I'm reading today from 1 John chapter 4, verse 19. We love because God first loved us. This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. So we are still in that great 50 days after Easter. We are in Eastertide, and we continue to proclaim that Christ is risen. Christ is risen indeed. As we, at Princeton UMC, journey through these great 50 days, we are talking about evangelism. We are in a worship series called Go Tell It on the Mountain, and it is an invitation for us not only to be about the task of evangelism, but really before we go about any task like that, to re-understand what evangelism is, perhaps to wrestle with what evangelism is, and as part of that wrestling, to be humbly aware that many of us inside the church, many people who find their home in church, many of you watching this video have been in some way hurt by some of the church's approach to evangelism. Maybe this church, maybe not this church, but by church I'm talking about the whole of Christianity. But part of this awareness too is to know for certain that many people that we know personally who are not part of a church have absolutely been hurt by some of the evangelistic efforts of the church. And so we come to this very humbly and with some curiosity, with some openness, some readiness to wrestle and try to find what it is that has been hurtful, what it is we're called to do when it is when we are called to do evangelism, to also explore kind of personally within ourselves and within this particular community that we have, how we are going to go about this and what we need to know in that humble place so that we're not hurting people by doing this, but also kind of why we would do this in the first place, right? So we're going to keep looking at all these things. That's a lot of things that we're looking at here. But for today, as we look at this one verse, this one beautiful core nugget of a verse that is that sums things up so beautifully. We love because God first loved us. I think this is one of the first things that we have to come back to, that we have to come to as we think about evangelism, both the whys and the whats and everything in between. We love because God first loved us. I think it's first because it reminds us the beginning of everything. The beginning of everything is God's love. It also tells us the end of everything. The end of everything is also God's love. It is all about that. And as we continue to kind of let this verse sink into us, I invite us to ask, what are some of the challenges for us as we think about God's love being the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the whole entirety of life and existence, and how everything else really fits under the umbrella and the care of God's love. We talk about this a lot at PUMC, right? We talk about our own belovedness and our struggles to remember that we are God's beloved, our struggles to trust that belovedness, that we are indeed held in God's arms, that we are loved by God, that we are enough because God is enough, and that we are beloved at our core being. And there's really nothing we can do to stop that love from being there. Now, we can deny it. We can push it away. We can do things that kind of keep it at arm's length, but it is always there. And so today, I wonder if there are ways that you can name in this moment that make it hard for you to believe that you are God's beloved, to make it hard for you to receive the love of God, that first love of God, that God first loved us before we could ever love anyone or anything else. What is it that makes it challenging to believe and to rest in that love, to make our home in that love? As you consider this, I know that from minute to minute, this answer may change. There may be some kind of fundamental things that have been with us all the way through our lives, a kind of core struggle that we might find that has come from our experiences in life, and some of the hard experiences in our life that can make this hard. But there are also things day to day. Some moments we do pretty good at this, right? Some moments we find it easy to claim, or easier at least to claim and know our own belovedness, to know that we can be home in God's love. And then other moments, it's like we've just been thrown off, and it becomes much harder. So just becoming aware of what it is that throws us off, becoming aware of how sometimes it's easier and other times it's harder, is a really good place to start. To ask yourself, like, how do I believe in this? How do I trust that God's love is there first and foremost for me? How do I make my home in that love? And how do I not? How do I struggle against it? How do I resist it? Becoming aware of some of these ways, asking other people about their experiences around this, asking other people for help along the way to help us to find our home in that love, are all part of this very beginning step of evangelism. So we're going to talk about this more on Sunday, along with perhaps another couple of steps on this journey, and I hope that you will join me. We want to also make this very kind of practical and give you some good things to do. So look out for some of these things on Sunday, whether you're joining us online or in person. We welcome you, and we always love to be together, because it is in our coming together that we are able to remind ourselves over and over and over again about this love that is our home and our own belovedness. We need that from each other. We need to come together to remind ourselves of this. This is one of the primary pieces of worship, and then to respond to all of that love that is being given to us by God. So I hope to see you on Sunday, one way or another. I hope that you can also remember that you are enough because God is enough, that you were created for joy, to know that it is very much a privilege for me and the others on our staff to get to be on this journey with you. And as we join together, may we continue to do so that we can find our home in God's love together. Blessings. Peace be with you.